Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Right here. Transformers Transformation Review thingy. Right, here we go. So, I have a couple of things to ask you. So, what would you tell me, could you tell me rather, is the best paint to use for? I'm really getting into this customizing thing. It's lots of fun. I've just spent the longest time customizing a Universe Vector Prime. Is this awful? I was going to show you the box. Awful brown and black and grey color. The brown's meant to be gold or bronze, and the grey's meant to be silver. But they just look brown and grey. And so the reason I picked them up, I got them in the box and everything, which was nice. The reason I picked them up is because I knew I could customize them. So what is the best paint now? I'm using the enamel paints, the Humbrol's enamel paints and things like that. But what about the Warhammer paints? You know, like the little acrylic water-based stuff. Let me know what you think. I'm having a good time with the enamel paints. I don't know what the advantage, disadvantage is. I'm learning on my feet here, so maybe you could get a bit of advice for me. That would be great. Look at this. He arrived today. He's so ugly. Oh my god. Now, I've wanted this. I could have picked them up at Auto Assembly, but I kind of spent all my money on stuff, you know, and really went right down to the wire. This is, of course, Armada Sideswipe with little Nightbeat. Oh, I've been doing that all day. I've wanted this ever since I got the Cybertron Runamuck, and he is the ugliest fucking bot of, you know, in the last 10 years, you expect bots to look great, or they look at least decent, and have a good bot mode and a good transformation. It's hideous. Absolutely hideous. That's quite a decent car. It's a really kind of car looking car. It's so generic. It's a good size, isn't it? But the bot is freaking ugly. If you've never seen it, have a look. I may just, whenever I have access to the rest of my bots, show you. It's a Cybertron Runamuck was the repaint. This is the originator, and he is something else. He really is. I absolutely love it. One more time. I've never had this. Oh, just spin with you. I've never had this mini comp before. Little Nightbeat, which is nice. You can see his little cycle there. So, Universe Vector Prime. Now let me give it. I'm so proud of what I've done with this figure. You all have been so nice to me and saying, because you were quite complimentary about the Primal. Yeah, I think he looks good. You know. Hopefully I'll just get better. Let me see, where are we? So, Vector Prime, Autobot, one of the original 13 protectors of Cybertron, which is so cool. One of the original 13. That's what we like. Vector Prime is one of the first Transformers ever. A powerful, wise, and incredibly ancient warrior. He has served warm day today. I tell you what, it's bloody hot. He has served as a protector over Cybertron since its beginnings. Pulled out of the shadows of time by a distress signal broadcast by his damaged planet, he arrives too late to serve Cybertron without assistance. So, rising from an era in which all Transformers lived in harmony, he is unaware of the conflict between Autobots and Decepticons, the fact that Megatron uses to trick him and steal the map to the lost planets and the planet keys. Realizing him as a mistake, he joins Optimus Prime and pledges his knowledge and skill to the American flag. No, to the desperate quest to retrieve the planet keys of Megatron. Okay, that's one of the things, isn't it, with Cybertron, planet keys and whatever. Freak it, don't care. So, y'all know what Vector Prime looks like. Let me get him down here. I spent the longest time on it. Vector Prime is such a cool bot. I remember I got him in the 2-pack with Starscream for 15 quid. Like, whenever that came out, you know, 6 years ago or something. Lovely, lovely bot. Really ancient. It's got all those cogs and stuff. And, repainted on the Alpha Trion. Oh God, I would sell my grandmother for that. That would be a messy thing, let me tell you that much. But so he had the Galaxy Force original, which was the Takara, and then the Galaxy Force Hasbro version, all kinds of different colors, and then this universe color. So we went from this lots of kind of light colors. The Hasbro Takara Galaxy Force, it was the color of custard, and I wish I could pull pictures up and show you. I've been looking at pictures online and I've downloaded them to my desktop, but I can't move them onto iMovie. I just can't do it. I wanted to show you the custardy yellow one that was the Galaxy Force one. Not the, is that the in Galaxy Force? Isn't that what he's called? Yes, he's called Galaxy Force. And then when he came to the Universal line, he became black. Now it would be nice if he was black and silver and gold, which is the colors they intended, but that was going to be too expensive. So he's black and brown and grey, and it was a little sick. But silver paint, what did I use? I used silver and aluminium, which I dry brushed the grey areas, and then I used bronze, copper, and gold, and dry brushed the brown areas, and I used the blue. Well, let me just show you. Shh, I love this. Oh God, I'm so pleased with this. I'm so freaking pleased with this. Now you can see. Let me just show you the original colors. You can see them there. So black. There was a decent silver on it, and as you can see here, what I've made of the legs. You can see now where they look kind of slightly bronzy, goldy. They were just brown, and that's all they were. They were absolutely unadulterated brown. But you see, I've picked it up, done this dry brushing stuff, which I love. This, the whole cockpit area here, this was all black only, but I've dry brushed it and sent out a little bit of shine coming off the window. Maybe you can see I've picked out all those little cogs there at the top, and I've given him this little, where am I, this little blue flash here, which I really like. I can put his missile in as well. This likes to fire out. Underneath, I forgot to black out these little screws, which I will do. I've picked out those cogs and stuff as well, giving them some little headlights there, which is nice. Added all this blue along the edge here. This doesn't exist at all. Very pleased with that. I'm absolutely made up with how he looks. And a little safeguard there. I'll show you him in a second. I'll take him right off now. Interesting. He was one of the first Cybertron bots to come with minicom ports. There's a little minicom port there, and it was a gaping hole in this bot before, but I think it looks a lot better with this now. I did intend to take off the Autobot symbol because it's very clumsily applied. Tell me what you think. You see, I didn't. This was on the bot, but I wanted to take it off. He is an ancient looking thing. I do so like how he looks. A little safeguard will come off and fly about in his own accord there. You see, he was brown and grey, which wasn't very nice. Now he's been bronzified up, so he's kind of bronze and silver, which I'm pleased about. But I love how Vector Prime looks. I love this colour of him. Much more enigmatic than the previous Vector Primes. Not saying that I didn't like how they looked. They looked really, really good. But this is the first time we've had this dark colour on him, and I think it really suits him. Let me just show you there. So I'm very pleased with that. All the way around. Let me transform him. Nice, simple transformation with really good clicks. Really good clicks. This blue paint, this blue kind of metallic humbrol that I'm using. You see all those lovely areas at the back. So nice. Really nice. The blue that I'm using takes forever to dry. I mean, literally, it's going to take 6 hours to dry. Whereas the silver seems to take about 10 minutes. But there you go. Go figure. So, yeah, I like using the enamels, but they can leave a bit of residue. And I think the acrylic water-based stuff it gets flatter. I think that's the key to it. So let me just take these. I love the fact that he's got a cloak. I like any bot that has a cloak or looks like he has a cloak. Let me see there. So there he is. Now you see he's got lots of paint that he didn't have before. He's got all those blue around the shoulder pads all the way around, and on this part of his gauntlet, I suppose is that what we're calling it. You see, I've picked out all those cogs and that silver, the kind of brown area, and bronzed it up and there as well. So too much light coming in. Picked out some nice little detail there. But Vector Prime, very, very nice. Good standard range of movement with this guy. He does all the things that you would want him to. His head turns. He will rotate at the shoulders and rotate at the elbow, and he's the good, really, really solid click. Sometimes think something's going to fall off because he's so solid. Really solid, really good clicks there. Legs in the standard range of movement. You can do this, which I think is kind of weird. He looks like he's about to go line dancing. I didn't do anything ultimately to this big circular thing in the center because I just liked how that looked. But I changed the color of the blue. The color of the blue that was there was just very ordinary. Lots of light. Let me see if I can do something and make it look a little better. I don't know. But left this section black. This there was no paint apps on this at all, but I added the silver and the little blue bit there. And of course, what's nice here is you take his sword out, and you can see I've fancied up his sword a bit. I've coloured in the recesses. You can't really see there. Coloured in the recesses this slight blue, as you can see. Yeah, and I've given him this big blue jewel in the center of his sword, which I really like. So he looks so well. I can't wait to display him next to the original Vector Prime. He looks so mean with a sword. I like any bot that has a sword. Melee weapons, swords and maces and flailing things and the odd transformer that has something whip-like, I really like. I'm so pleased with how Vector Prime looks. I did spend the longest time on him. Like these little knobs on the side. So there's little Safeguard. Safeguard is so, for a minicon, I really like him, and he's one of the simplest to transform. Now, quite often I find it difficult to get excited about minicons, but I think this little guy looks so good, and you can get this kind of thing. You can get him kind of going, yay! And I've, oh god, bad focus there. I've given him, he's all silver and bronze now, where he was just brown and grey before, and it just did not suit him. And of course, the nice thing you can do with this minicon is that he's a triple changing minicon, so he has his little flight mode, and then I like to call that his target master mode. So it goes on the arm here, and I find a really nice pose I like to get for Vector Prime. Pull this gauntlet a bit down. I think the next guy I'm going to do, paint. I'm not going to be painting any Generation 1 at all. I'm not going to be painting any movie stuff because I don't like movie stuff. And indeed I have stopped buying it. I've decided categorically. I think I will paint this guy because I like him. And all this grey shitty plastic deserves to be metallized. So I'm not going to paint Generation 1. I may paint some Beast Wars because I think Beast Wars figures are very, very sexy, and some of them really would maybe benefit from a little bit of painting. I will paint some Energon, Armada, and Cybertron, and I think the Universe is going to be my favourite line to paint just because I like the fact that we're using classic bots, you know, like the primals, and I've seen some Armada figures have been co-opted in, some Energon figures. It seems a good line to paint. It seems a good line to play about with. I'm not sure why, but there's Vector Prime. The way that I like to pose him, you can get him looking really mean. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think. I would love to put up like clearer pictures, and I suppose what I could do if I thought about it previously, what I could have done is I could have just taken pictures of the Vector Prime as he was and as he is. Oh, I love that. See all that work on there? All that blue and silver? Oh, love it. Yeah. So, am I using water-based acrylic, or should I stick to my enamels? Let me know. Loving what I've done with this. I'm so pleased with myself. You might look at it and think it's a little amateurish, and I would quite happily accept that, since this is only the second one I've ever done. But thank you very much nonetheless. Ladies and gentlemen, not having so much, I didn't have any good BG on the Universe incarnation of this guy, but I couldn't find any. Don't care. Who's next? Yes, I think I'm going to do Energon Scorponok. I'm just going to give him some touches. I'm going to extend the gold and make it a little bronzier, give him a little scuff, give him a little dirt, maybe a cape and something like that, because he's this kind of zombie bot anyway. We'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ray. Thanking you for taking the time to look at this bad boy here. So, I would love to see, this is the thing, I would love to see what you've done with your bots. If you've painted any of them, if you've any other techniques that you'd like, that you've done that you like rather, because I'm just getting into this, and Vegadeath, Dorian was saying to me, that's it, once you start you can't stop. So first it'll be this, and then it'll be modifying, then it'll be customs, and then it'll be completely kit bashing. I don't know. I'm having fun painting at the minute. I might stop next week and go and start making cheese or something. That's just the way things go. Thank you very much. Wish I could take a picture of this bad boy. Ladies and gentlemen, Ray signing out.